Welcome to Cambridge International A-Level Business Informational Video. Let me start this video by quoting the words of Teresa Pollens. A successful business requires one simple thing: passion. If you are passionate to become an entrepreneur or work at management level as a successful leader, this is the course for you to pursue in school level. This video gives you a brief explanation about Cambridge A-Level Business, prospective career opportunities, and clippings of few learning activities in business lesson. Business is one among the popular fields of study at universities worldwide as it touches upon every aspect of modern human society. It is a choice for anyone interested in the world of commerce and entrepreneurship. Students engage themselves with the world of business through the context of current business developments and real-life situation. Now let's see why Cambridge International AS and A-Level Business. The study of Cambridge International AS and A-Level Business allows learners to take the first step towards a career in private or public organizations, or progress with confidence to a degree in business and management related subjects. Cambridge learners will develop the capacity to analyze characteristics and activities of business organizations, respond to the changing demands of their environments, and understanding of how effective managers and leaders develop successful organizations in terms of customer focus and the product services they offer. Cambridge learners will also develop the opportunity to reflect on how successful business organizations engage in financial and accounting practices to maximize value for stakeholders' value. Development of knowledge that relates to strategic planning and decision making to ensure business survival, change, and sustainable success, and a solid foundation for further studies. Following a Cambridge International AS and A-Level program helps students develop abilities which universities value highly, including a deep understanding of their subjects, higher order thinking skills, analysis, critical thinking, problem solving, presenting ordered and coherent arguments, independent learning and research using international business situations. The syllabus content for Cambridge International AS and A-Level Business are business and its environment, people in organization, marketing, operations and project management, finance and accounting, strategic management. The assessment for Cambridge International Business A-Level are Paper 1, 40 marks, Paper 2, 60 marks, and Paper 3, 100 marks. Paper 1 and 2 are assessed based on AS syllabus, and Paper 3 based on the additional A-Level syllabus content and also assumes knowledge and understanding of the AS level syllabus content. Business and management graduates typically progress to careers in areas such as business development, marketing, recruitment, and banking, although plenty of other options are available. A few of them are energy management, human resource management, sports management, financial management, healthcare management. The knowledge and skills gained in this course can be utilized in a huge range of business and management fields, are transferable across many areas of study and professions, and can be used to manage your personal decision making, planning, and finances. Thank you.
Effective communication is the exchange of information between groups of people or an individual, and it has a feedback. The process of communication is effective when the person who got the message is convinced and has understood the message properly, and the sender is also convinced that the receiver has understood the message properly and gets a reply.
So one is cultural, yeah, that's one discussed. So then there's there's legal factors as well, because some countries don't allow marketing to children lower than a certain age. And an example that Abigail brought up was brilliant, which is that Kingfisher both sold more sodas and alcohol and other products, but so alcohol was not you were not allowed to advertise the alcohol. So they advertised the sodas and they brought their brand name up, and then slowly when people, so their brand identity came up, and then they used that to push their alcohol as well. So
that's a very good example for loophole that businesses use in such scenarios where they're limited.
Yes.
Yeah, advertisement. Yeah.
That's should I give other factors or just let other?
If you have other factors, please feel free.
There's economic factors as well. You probably push in countries, if you have a luxurious product, you probably push it there. Demand usually change, not just demand, you change like social reasons, like how Rohan said, certain, and then you have if there could be an abundance of certain disease in a certain country, where so if you're pushing a medicine, you may want to do that. Although most countries ban advertising of medicines, but marketing is not just advertising, right? So yeah, that's another reason.
So can we hear from, we'll start from Naomi.
For the hotel, I added value would be like valet, they have valet parking, and a cafe or swimming pool, so amenities. And for a tailor, I chose seating or air conditioning or dressing rooms.
So for the hotel, I give you can add value by giving the customers private access to the swimming pools and the gym. For the car dealers, you can give the customers good insurance for the cars.
For hotels, I can have a butler for each room. Then add fancy and expensive things to each room to look more classier.
The hotel, they could provide car washes and room service and better interiors. Instead of just making it a plain room, they could have wall paintings and stuff.
Okay.
And then for tailoring, they could, sometimes you can, as soon as you get it, if you try it on and it doesn't fit, you can get alterations. That, and then returns and handwork like embroidery and bead work, and then discounts and events.
So I'm going to talk about Jeff Bezos. He's an entrepreneur and e-commerce pioneer. These are things I'm going to talk about. So his lines of business. First, he got a job at Citel. It's a fintech telecommunications startup, and he got many promotions and became a product manager at Bankers Trust. And then he was promoted to DE Shaw & Co. And there he became the 4th senior vice president. And after he left DE Shaw & Co., he founded Amazon, became founder and executive chairman. And so his real name is not Jeff Bezos. He was actually born as Jeffrey Preston or Hazen. And before he named his company Amazon, it was actually Cadabra, and then he changed it to Amazon. So this was how the logo was before, then it changed to Amazon. and he drew the business plan for Amazon during a road trip from New York to Seattle.
So research of globalization is again more advantages, but then again, sort of comparing to what a national market gives you, and then why globalization is clearly better. You have a saturated market, like I mentioned earlier. If let's say you're planning on building a fast food chain, but then you live in USA or something where you have already a lot of fast food chains that's dominating the market, and then there's way too many fast food chains for you to probably have an opportunity, for you to probably have any chance of gaining a market share. So you don't want that. So you go out in a global business, and then you establish your fast food chain in place.
All right, so good evening, everyone, and it's a delight to see some 18 plus youngsters here trying to understand a bit more about HR. And let me tell you a secret. I guess I heard the word HR probably at the time when I was doing my engineering and I was searching for jobs. I never heard this in school days. And believe me, thanks to this information era, thanks to the new way of learning, and thanks to the school and all your parents who can afford to put you in a different way of learning, it's great to see that you all are exposed to these things at a very early stage of your studies itself. It's nice, great. And at the same time, I know, like, okay, from, sitting in the classes from 8 to 2. And I know that Rishi was in the class till a little while back. Sitting in the class for such a long time, and then getting into a so-called expert session and listening to somebody is not a great thing to have for the day. So what my challenge for now is to make sure that I talk less. At the same time, I try to give you a bit of a flavor of what industry HR is, or how does it compare vis-a-vis what you see in the textbooks. And I'll spend some time listening to you and answering to your questions. So what I have for plan today is that I'm going to, rather than telling you a lot of yarn about what HR is, I've taken a route of picking up 3 myths about HR and trying to demystify it. All right, so we start off with this cartoon where you see a lady coming up and asking HR, right? Okay, am I going to get compensated for the coffees that I missed during my vacation? That's on a very lighter note. But let's get into breaking these myths and looking at some of the facts. Before that, a quick check. Am I audible? Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, so moving on, my first question is, or the first myth that we want is about what does a HR do at work? And for this, I want you to answer in the chat. In one word, tell me what do you think a HR does at work? Okay, so I am looking for your inputs. Tell me what do you think a HR does in work? Screening, all right. Okay, thank you, Dikshita. Let me hear more. Recruit, fire and hire. At least put hire first and then fire. Okay, training. All right. Anything more? Manage, okay. What else? Okay, conflict management, all right. Any more inputs? Policies. Okay, create policies, update them. Okay, employee relations. Okay. Anything else? Anything more? Performance management. Perfect. Okay. I'm a little surprised nobody spoke about salary. Anybody thought about salary, or you think salary is okay? Okay, so here you go. Vinayak has said salary. Okay.
Basically, you can see that Amazon is clearly following a hierarchical structure. So it's due to it's mainly following the hierarchical structure because it's a big company and it's one of the biggest companies in the world right now, and it is the largest internet retailer of the world. So employing around more than 600,000 people. So yeah, that's one main reason why it's following the hierarchical structure. And yeah, Rishi.
Yeah.
Second point.
So even when like with such size, hierarchical structure is somewhat necessary, but even then they do at times go with a more flexible and dynamic approach, where they still adapt to frequent. If there's a specific project, they can still adapt with specific teams. And Jeff Bezos commonly talked about a rule called the 2 pizza rule, where he said that one group should be small enough that one meeting can be conducted with the whole group sharing 2 pizzas.
Today, we're going to present a role play on how the decisions of a business affects the stakeholder.
The table of content is, the first slide is stakeholder, second is the fight for 15, the third one is featured stakeholder, the fourth one is a view of stakeholder, fifth one, decisions, and sixth one, thank you slide.
A stakeholder is anyone who has an interest in the business and can either affect or be affected by the business's operations and performance. So there are 2 types of stakeholders, internal and external. Shareholder, employee and manager comes under internal, and customer, supplier, local community, pressure group and government comes under external.
Fight for 15. Thousands of workers, hundreds of cities, one movement, $15 and a union. The successful business McDonald's have come across another hurdle in their journey, a wage raise. The employees of McDonald's are very unhappy about their pay and are requesting a wage of $15 an hour. Obviously, before making a definite decision, the different stakeholders of the business must be considered. Will McDonald's be able to satisfy everyone involved in the business, or will it only benefit a few?
We are fighting for high wages. We fight for 15. We believe our wages should be at least £15 an hour. We all know McDonald's is a huge success in the business world. A business so popular is entitled to give us high wages. A higher wage can help us become better off financially. We deserve at least this much for the service we have contributed. Our role of carrying out day-to-day activities a business requires can only be satisfied by higher pay.
The employees do have a valid reason for receiving a higher pay, and as a fellow society member, I am for it. But as a shareholder, I don't support this. Wage increase would only urge McDonald's to increase operation costs, which in turn would reduce profits and possibly decrease share price.
My role is to implement the vision of the owners and work for the betterment of the firm. A manager's objective is a good salary and career progression. The firm's decision to increase wages can help me achieve my objectives.
My objective is to receive payments on time and regular orders from the community, as an increase in employees' wages could be a major disadvantage for our suppliers, as they would have to spend more of their money on satisfying the employees.